halfway gaze, no final thought, no backward glance, just syncopated circumstance. You didn't speak, you let it ring. I felt your pulse in everything. We weren't aligned, we weren't planned, but matched in ways we couldn't stand. So dance with me beneath this hum. We're not the song you'd ever hum, but we're the sound that stays too long, the kind you feel when something's wrong. Don't try to name this thing we are. We're not a wish, we're just a scar that shimmers soft and burns so slow. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. You said let's not define the scene. I nodded through a blur of green. The subs were low, the chorus high. You laughed like storms before goodbye. We moved between the cars and rain, a glitch in every step we feign. Not love, not lost, not even need, but something new we didn't bleed. I never asked you why you stayed. You never said what you portrayed, but in your echo I could find the parts of me I left behind. So dance with me through all these signs. We're not the stars, we just align. A spark between the flickered beat that drags us out into the street. No perfect line, no steady frame, just a rhythm shaking off its name. We're not a flame that lights the way, we're just the noise you can't replay. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. You traced a word into the glass, I read it wrong, you let it pass. We didn't fix what wasn't whole, just filled the silence we control. The train went by, you didn't blink, I felt you sink where I would sink. No lyrics then, just measured sound, a space where we could still be found. This isn't love, it isn't pain, it's static you can't quite contain. We loop, we blur, we glitch, we fade, but in that fade we still get made. So dance with me inside this loop. We're not escape, we're not a truth, but if you feel the tempo turn, just let it pull, just let it burn. We're not the ones who get it right, but still we echo through the night. And when you breathe you'll hear me near, a beat too soft to disappear. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. We're just a voice the night might know. You stopped, I watched your shadow fall, a silhouette that had it all. You didn't wave, I didn't wait, we let the city modulate. A final note without a key, but still you sang it back to me. I heard it hum beneath the glass, a sound too slow, too bright to pass. We weren't a fire, weren't a storm, but we became our silent form. And even now in every track I hear your voice and echo back. So dance with me, then let me go. Don't need to say what we both know. We played too long, we played too wide, but never broke. Just slipped outside the verse, the bridge, the final call still lingers when you don't recall. We're not a light that ever shone, just melody that moved you on. You stepped out from the neon blur, hair pulled back, eyes never show. The skyline trembled in your glass, a silent song we let bypass. I leaned against the midnight air, too cool to breathe, too warm to care. You said this isn't how we start. I said but every beat's an art. Your hand reached out then pulled away, just chasing rhythms in delay. The city echoed underneath a loop we couldn't quite complete. We're not aligned, but still we spin inside the chords we never pin. No lyrics clear, no meter tight, just something pulsing through the night. So move with me through city towns. We're not the ones to carve in stone. We're static, pure, a passing flare, but somehow always playing there. Don't call this fate, don't name this wrong, just let it last a little long. We're not a page, we're not a plan, just melody you understand. You tilted back, your voice was low, the tempo shifted in your glow. I didn't ask what came before, I felt the drop then asked for more. Your laughter cracked like vinyl dust, a moment scratch but filled with trust. We didn't need to say it all, the sense already knew the fall. We flowed on bass and whispered cue, no final note, no follow through. But in this noise you turn and smile, a fleeting bridge that stays a while. So move with me through tangled skies, no rhyme, no fix, no sure replies. We're just the hum, the rest your foot against the rail, the kind of move that sets the scale. And just like that, the drop was near. A sonic breath you pulled so clear. We didn't shout, we didn't sway, just synced in beats we didn't play. The skyline froze, the moment rang like synths too soft for bass to hang. Not quite a bomb, not quite release, but something humming underneath. A glitch too sweet to want repaired, a sound that only we had shared. So move with me till systems fade. Let's be the note we never played. We're more than hooks, we're more than lines. We're modulations lost in time. Don't skip this part, don't mute the blur. We're where the best mistakes occur. No need to ask, no need to end. We're just a beat that won't pretend. I saw the light fall in your face, not sadness but a kind of grace. You turned and said one more than done, but stayed to see the final run. You didn't leave with final chords, no classic lines, no closing boards. Just one last breath in open air, the kind you feel but never wear. I didn't chase, I didn't cry, just let the song reduce the why. And as the night slipped down the street, I held the space you didn't keep. So move with me through fading tones. We're not a name, we're just unknowns. A synth behind the headline beats, still echoing through empty seats. We're not the track that charts or climbs, but stay alive in midnight time. So if you hum when dreams are done, I'll be the song that still goes on.
Cute synth stab mid-tempo drum groove.
Midnight city's glowing pink. I'm walking fast, no time to think. Neon signs all call my name, but you're the one I couldn't tame. Lipstick on and headphones loud, dancing through this glowing crowd. Mirror glass reflects my grin. I'm not waiting to begin. Oh, I feel it in my shoes. Every beat I choose. Don't need a reason why. I just move under the sky. Oh baby, I'm not looking back. Hot in sync with the city track. Light me up like a candy flame. Call me once, I won't play safe. Midnight feels like my parade. Smiling bright, no plans to fade. Bubble tea in plastic hands, kicking off my future plans. Skirt that flips an evening breeze, moving easy, feeling free. Oh, my voice is crystal light, soft but clear tonight. I don't fake what's mine. Every word falls into time. Oh baby, I'm not looking back. Heart in sync with the city track. Glow like signs above the cars. Crushing hard beneath the stars. Tell me now or let me go. I'm the spark you'll never know. Can't rewind what wasn't said, but I'll sing you out instead. Don't text me what's up late. Too cute to hesitate. Oh baby, I'm not turning round. I'm the echo in the sound, sweet and sharp like candy tone. Dancing me all alone. Kiss the night and let it slide. Catch me once I'm gone by light. You walked along the yellow lines. The night behind you split in signs. I watched you dance without a beat, just shadows moving through the heat. Your voice was low, your laugh was clean, like vinyl spun in in between. You said it's late, I said not yet, but neither one knew what we meant. A distant siren bent the air. The synths were soft, the bass was bare. We didn't run, we didn't freeze. We floated just above the keys. We're not a map, we're not a plan. We drift like a reverb in a can. And if we land or loop or fall, we'll echo down this silent hall. So hold this note before it fades. We're not a song that masquerades. We're simple tones, we're blurred design, still humming underneath the line. Don't call this love, don't call this pain. We're static shaped to feel like rain. But if you play this back someday, just feel me drift then walk away. You held your phone like it could sing. The background noise was everything. I heard myself inside the ring, a loop that never did begin. You played a track from years ago. I didn't dance but didn't go. The sound was soft, the meaning sharp. It resonated in the dark. We don't align like people should, but in this sound we understood the space between the inexact, where melodies just circle back. So hold this beat without regret. We're not a spark, we're not a threat. We're songs you hum but never claim, still tracing every second's flame. Don't write me in, don't cross me out. I'll echo low when you're in doubt. And if the silence starts to play, just know I'm stitched into the sway. We sat beneath the bridge's span. A moment paused without a plan. You kicked a beat against the rail. I matched it like a slowed down tale. Your eyes were sharp, the voice was soft. The kind of mix we always lost. Not in the words, but how they stayed between the chords we never played. Not harmony, not clean refrain, but echoes tied in every lane. The kind you feel, not understand, but hold inside your empty head. So hold this part like open air. Don't need a label, just be there. We're not a melody that wins, but one that softly, slowly spins. Don't fix the tempo, let it fall. Let silence lean against the wall. We're not a song for crowds or stage. We're just a phrase that turns the page. You showed up late, sky was was red. I laughed and tilted back my head. Didn't need a single word. You just smiled and I felt her. You didn't talk about the past. Didn't need to make it last. But in the pause between the beats, I heard your voice beneath the streets. No drama, no rewind. Just your rhythm close to mine. A feeling soft, defined like lyrics I forgot to find. So tell me how the night got warm when I was sure I missed the storm. You pulled me back with just one glance, like we still had another chance. No need for perfect words tonight. You said it all in blinking lights. So close, so slow, we move like songs we used to know. You hummed along, I caught the tune, some melody from last June. Didn't say, didn't claim, but I still remembered your name. Our shadows dance along the glass, the kind that fades but still will last. You didn't need to say you missed, I felt it in the way we kissed. No sorry, no explain, just your hand inside the train. One heartbeat split in two, but close enough to carry through. So tell me how the dark turned kind when you walked just one step behind. You made the silence feel like grace, like time that rewound just in case. The neon wrapped around our lives and turned them into lullabies. So soft, so slow, we move like songs we used to know. You asked me if I come again to where the city holds the rain. I said maybe if the sky still blushes when you walk by. You laughed and said I kinda knew, like I'd return to follow through. And though the time was thin and fast, I felt you hoping it would last. No question, just the beat. No answer, just repeat. We danced across the night like everything had turned out right. So tell me if you still recall the way we felt with nothing out. You touched my sleeve, the moment frozen. Every song we had just rose, not loud, not grand, but hand in hand we moved like songs we used to know. Your heels hit pavement like a song. Too bright to fade, too short for long. The lights behind us blinked and rose. You moved like beats nobody knows. A soda can rolled near your feet. You tapped it once, kept walking neat. You said let's not define the sound. I smiled and let the chords unbound. The night was stitched in purple haze. You hummed a line from better days. I tried to catch the tail of it, but you were already in the split. We're not the line that breaks the verse. We're just the glitch, the DJ's curse. But in that skip, we found our play, a pulse that won't quite go away. So walk with me where echoes land. We're not a flame, we're sleight of hand. We're not the voice they play at shows, but we're the tune that softly glows. Don't tune me out, don't sing me loud. Just keep me close when there's no crowd. I'll be the beat you hum and hide, the one that loops but won't collide. You pulled your sleeves down past your palms. The street ahead was fake but calm. A taxi honked, you didn't flinch. The night had taught you not to inch. I trailed your steps in quiet time. You whistled out a crooked rhyme. Not perfect pitch but perfectly. The sound that settled touch. I watch reflections bend and break in windows past the midnight lake. Our shadows stretching as we turned into the chorus we'd once burned. You hummed along with your head down. I echoed back with no real sound. And in that loop we understood that words would never do us good. So we walk through neon dreams, side by side in quiet schemes. You don't ask me where I've been, I don't ask what might have been. We just let the rhythm lead, moving without need or speed. It isn't clean, it isn't wrong, but in this space we still belong. Some strangers laughed across the square. You turned to see but didn't care. I saw your eyes reflect the light, but kept my gaze just out of sight. I wanted to ask why you called, but held it back and let it fall. Cause maybe nights like this don't need a reason we both fail to read. And as the traffic slowly blurred, you whispered something, not a word, but still it shook the quiet glass of everything we couldn't ask. So we walk through neon dreams, chasing after half-lit gleams. You don't need to know my mind, I don't need to press rewind. The silence speaks, the bass replies. We let the dust become our guide. A final scene with no goodbyes, just passing glances, fading tries. You stopped beneath a glowing sign, the one from when you first were mine. I nodded once and met your stare, but said no words, just left it there. So we walk through neon dreams, where nothing's ever what it seems. You don't ask me why I stayed, I don't ask what we betrayed. The beat goes on, the night resets, but we're not bound by past regrets. We walk like songs that softly bend, not quite a start, not quite an end.
You leaned against the concrete rail. The skyline blurred, the lights were pale. No music played, no phones were near. Just breath and air and things unclear. I said your name, but not too loud. It wasn't meant to break the cloud. You didn't turn, just stayed in frame. Like even silence had your name. The echo from the street below was softer than I thought it'd go. You closed your eyes and mouthed a tune, then melted halfway through the moon. We weren't a headline, weren't a phrase, but something lost between the haze. And though no one could hear the track, we felt it pulling both of us back. So stay with me through fading noise. We're not the start, we're not their choice, but we're the sound that hums inside when everything begins to slide. Don't name this love, don't name this fear, just let the stillness keep us near. And if you leave, don't shut the sound, I'll echo in the space around. A vending light blinked into white. You kicked a pebble left to right. I caught your breath between the lines of quiet built from endless signs. You whispered something I misheard, but felt the weight of every word. I didn't ask, I didn't press. We looped instead of second guess. This wasn't joy, it wasn't pain, but something soft we can't explain. A half-remembered melody that fits in us too easily. So stay with me while time resets. We're not the ones with no regrets, but if this moment loops again, I hope you hum it to the end. Don't fingers behind the door, and though the chords might never rise, they hum behind your quiet eyes. A moment lingers in the tone where voices fade but feel like home. No final track, no last refrain, just soft decay that will remain. So if you pause between the songs and wonder where a sound belongs, just know that part that didn't play still means I'm here, just not today. So stay with me where no one hears. We're not the stars, but we were near. Not perfect notes, not major keys, but chords that drift along the breeze. Don't make it last, don't make it loud, just hear me whisper in the crowd. And if you hum without a name, that's me still echoing the same.
Missed. You texted once, I barely clicked. Running fast, my keys in hand. City lights like colored sand. You waited at the platform and no big smile, but not pretend. That kind of calm you only find when you've made peace with what's behind. You didn't ask me why I came. I didn't need to know your name. We walked like rhythm down the track. No looking forward or looking back. Hold this night before it slips through fingers warmed by neon drips. Tell me lies or tell me truth, just like we used to in our youth. Let the bassline catch our breath. Sing me slow, don't talk of death. Midnight moves in quiet glow and plays the song we used to know. Your voice was softer than the beat. It didn't try, it didn't plead, but I could hear the shade of pain, the scene, the syllables you feign. I joked about the time we lost. You said some things are worth the cost, and in your glance I caught a flame still flickering without a name. You brushed your coat against my side. I felt the past we used to hide. The station blurred behind the glass, and everything began to pass. Hold this night before it fades like color lost in morning shades. Tell me dreams that used to be when we were more than just maybe. Let the tempo slow us down till even silence makes a sound. Dancing soft, not fast, not slow, to songs that only we would know. We reached a stop and didn't move. The train kept on, we found a groove. I leaned a bit, your arm stayed still, but something in the space did fill. I thought of things I never said, like how you lived inside my head. Even when we drifted far, I mapped your name in every bar. You didn't speak, I didn't push, but in that pause I felt the hush. Say more than any words we've missed. Like every night we almost kissed. Hold this night like final verse, a lullaby the world rehearsed. You and I, not right or wrong, just echoes dancing through a song. We don't need to figure out what this was, beat or what it's about. Just ride the beat, enjoy the show, to songs that only we would know. Slow read, walking, news fading. Slow read, walking, news fading. It started with a spark, too soft to name. You leaned but never touched, and I did the same. The traffic passed,
1,000 lights, but none of them were quite as bright. You asked if I still wrote those lines, the ones I hid between the signs. I shrugged, said only when it rains. You smiled like you still knew my game. We sat on steps where no one stood, where shadows gathered more than good. And in the hum beneath our feet we found a silence bittersweet. You never say too much too soon, but everything is said in tune. The way your shoulder grazed my sleeve was louder than the words we leave. And we don't talk about the fall, the fights, the breaks, the late night calls. We only sing with halfway grace. Let neon wrap our quiet space. So stay until the bassline bends. Let's not pretend we're more than friends, but maybe just for one more song we'll feel like we've been right all along. You chased your name into the steam of coffee cups and crowded dreams. I watched it fade and didn't speak, too scared that silence might just leak. You asked if I remembered June, the rooftop sky, that silver tune. I said of course, but didn't add how every day since felt a tad less glad. We always danced between the lines of what was yours and what was mine, but every chorus pulled us near, then dropped us softly into fear. And we don't speak about the past like it was made to never last. We let the music play instead and share the truths we left unsaid. So take my hand if just a drift before this moment starts to shift. Tonight we float and don't belong, but feel like we've been right all along. The clock was blinking 2:03. You laughed and said it's still just me, but something in your voice had cracked like you'd rehearsed, then pulled it back. I said some nights feel kind of fake. You nodded slow, said hearts will break, but didn't move. Just let me lean into a piece we'd never meet. We used to plan, we used to run, but now we barely try to stun. Yet in this calm there's more to see than any storm we used to be. And we don't promise, don't define, we only touch and borrow time. We let the tints replace our vows and write our love in present now. So hold this verse like breath on skin. No need to lose, no need to win. We'll leave before it all feels wrong. Still thinking we've been right all along. I watched the moon slip past the glass, a quiet script that wouldn't last. You tapped your phone, I bit my lip and let another moment slip. The way you paused before goodbye felt like a song that wouldn't lie. And though I knew you'd fade again, I almost let you reach the end. But something in the beat still swayed a hope we never quite obey. We never were, we always might, still drifting under borrowed light. And we don't beg for what we lost, we count the time but not the cost. We dance between the words we say and hope the chords don't drift away. So one more night, let this be true, that I was here and so were you. Not perfect, whole, or even strong, but maybe we've been right all along.
The night was velvet, stretched and wide. You waited near the riverside, your jacket loose, the collar high. A secret breeze, a silent sky. I crossed the street with empty hands, still full of all our half-made plans. Your eyes lit up, but just a spark that quickly faded in the dark. We walked in silence, heard the beat of cars and rain beneath our feet. No need to talk, no need to race. The city moved, we found our place. You looked at me like I had changed, but nothing really was rearranged. Still chasing echoes from that day, we let the music lead the way. So tell me this is not the end, just strangers learning how to bend. We don't define, we don't erase. We live in sound, not time or space. No promises we didn't keep, no love too loud, no wounds too deep. We fall apart but still belong inside the rhythm of this song. You asked if I still hum at night when sleep won't come and things aren't right. I laughed and said I hum your tune, it echoes well beneath the moon. You smiled like you believed it too, but didn't ask if it was true. We let the light just drift and float, a melody that barely wrote. It's not about the final kiss, but all the moments that we miss. The spaces left between our touch, say what the silence couldn't clutch. So tell me this is not goodbye, we're just a song that won't reply, a verse that doesn't see Watched your hands tap on the rail, a subtle beat, a hidden trail. I followed it in quiet time, like tracing chords you'd left behind. You turned to ask if I'd forget. I said not yet, not yet, not yet. 3 words that hurt the same as stay, but sounded softer anyway. We sat beneath the rusted light, the kind that buzzes never quite right. You leaned then pulled away again, just close enough to let me in. We don't exchange the lines we need, but echo back in minor key, a harmony of could have been that plays beneath our worn out skin. So tell me this is still our night, even if nothing feels quite right. Let's get the parts we can't rehearse and write our names inside a verse. We're not a love that needs control, we're just a song that keeps its soul. In perfect chords, too soft, too strong, still moving with this quiet song. You said you liked the way I think, then laughed and sipped your neon drink. I tried to find the words to match, but let them fade without a catch. I never asked why you returned, you never said which bridges burned. We didn't need to count in our way what brought us back this quiet way. Our timing always felt offbeat, but somehow still found perfect heat. We didn't speak in major chords, but played the truth we can't afford. So tell me this is just a loop, a gentle glowing endless swoop, not built to win or built to fail, but drifting on a steady scale. We don't confess, we don't deny, we just exist beneath the sky. And every wrong that we prolong still sounds like music in this song. The night grew cold, the silence warm, we didn't break, we just transformed. And in your glance I saw the trace of something safe inside this place. You reached and brushed my hand again, a small repeat of what had been. And though I knew you'd disappear, I stayed to let the song appear. So tell me this is not regret, but every note we can't forget. Let's lose the rules and drop the name, let rhythm take away the blame. We played this through, we played it slow, and let the final chorus grow. Not right, not wrong, just playing strong. We fade but never leave the song. You caught me in a quiet loop, still dancing through familiar truth. The night was warm but not quite soft, like static air that wouldn't cough. Your voice came through the midnight wind, not loud but clear enough to bend. I turned but didn't say your name, we always played that kind of game. You smiled like you'd been here before, same rooftop, same unspoken war. I stepped beside you just in case you still remembered how I taste. And all the words we didn't choose were humming in our quiet blues. We let the beat explain our past, too fragile for the truth to last. So sing me loud or sing me wrong, I need your voice to pull me strong. We're not the kind to promise peace, but we can dance until it's ceased. You never ask, I never say, but in the rhythm we replay. This isn't fate, this isn't done, we're just a song that's come undone. You touched the rail and lit a smoke, said time has ways to play a joke. I laughed and said we never quit, you blew it out and said a bit. Our shadows tangled on the ground, your eyes still chased a distant sound. I didn't speak but let it play, the way we used to drift away. And something in your step was slow, like part of you refused to go. We weren't the same but still aligned, just broken beats, not out of time. So sing me louder or sing me raw, don't clean the cut, just leave the flaw. We're not the ones who make it neat, but we know how to move our feet. We don't confess, we don't pretend, but keep repeating till the end. It's not about who's lost or won, we're just a song that's come undone. The wind was sharper than before, you said I'm cold but nothing more. I pulled you close then stepped away, like rhythm caught between delay. You held your hands like catching light, a pulse beneath the neon night. I saw the part you tried to hide and let it surface open wide. No rush to fall, no rush to climb, we're riding tone instead of time. A melody So sing me wild, sing me true. I'll echo all the notes from you. We're not perfection, never were, but every flaw just makes us stir. Forget the lines we should have drawn. Forget what made us right or wrong. Just let it burn, just let it run. We're just a song that's come undone. You hum that tune I used to write, the one I lost in neon light. I mouthed the words you didn't know, but still it made the moment glow. You turned and said it's getting late, but didn't mean it as escape. We stood and watched the sky and hum and waited for the end to come. It didn't break, it didn't rise, but shimmered under thinning skies. Not every night needs to be bold. Some stories drift and still feel whole. So sing me soft, then sing me high. Let's not explain the reasons why. We're not the verse that leads to peace, but something raw that doesn't cease. 1,000 notes we left unsaid now echo in the space we fled. So don't rewrite, don't make it done. We're just a song that's come undone. The sky was painted smoke and glass. I watched the taxis flicker past. You stood beneath that broken light as if this time it might feel right. No message sent, no warning sound. Just instincts pulling us around. We didn't plan, we didn't wait. The beat came first, we sealed our fate. You asked me what I'm running from. I said the noise when nothing comes. You didn't smile, just touched my sleeve and said some ghosts don't wanna leave. And every pulse between the drums reminds me where I'm truly from. Not in the past, not in the fire, but in this quiet white desert. So hold me here, then let me go. I don't need names for what we know. We ride the rhythm, miss the frame, but somehow end up just the same. We speak in steps, we hum in sighs. Our soundtrack stitched in whispered lies. No final act, no curtain drawn. We're just a beat that lingers on. You pulled me toward that vinyl shop. Said wanna hear the world just stop. I nodded once you placed the needle and played a track both strange and fetal. The chorus hit before the hook, like skipping pages in a book. But in the jump I heard the line that made the silence feel like mine. You dance without your shoes or care. I watched the neon light your hair. And though the past began to press, the rhythm kept our fears suppressed. So hold me fast and let it fade. We weren't a vow, just masquerade. We loop, we glitch, we cut, we climb, but always land inside the time that says it's right, though never clear. We're close then far, then always near. No call to arms, no flag to dawn. We're just a beat that lingers on. I traced your name into the fog. You laughed and said still analog. I said some feelings just require a slower pace, a softer wire. You nodded, let your shoulders drop. We caught our breath, ignored the clock. And in the gap between the bars, we learned to navigate
found me where the streetlights end, half a block past where we pretend. The night was soft, the city loud. We stood apart, but you a crowd. I wore my coat like I'm a thing. You leaned back, let the air drift in. No words at first, just space and light. The world went left, we stayed upright. You asked to write those songs at night. I said just when the mood feels right, but didn't add they all were you, disguised in scent and faded blue. And we don't dance like we used to, but still our timing slipping through. Not perfect steps, not clear intent, just melody and accidents. So stay with me through half a song. I won't pretend we both belong, but if the chords still feel like us, let's not reduce it down to trust. We're not the flame, we're not the truth, but something blurred in fading youth. We echo long after we're gone, like verses drifting into dawn. You held your phone like holding time, as if you paused your inner rhyme. I watched the screen light up your face, then fade like we were out of place. You said I almost called last week. I said I felt it in my sleep. We laughed but something didn't bend. A sound too cracked to just pretend. It's not about the words we lose, but what we hear in background cues. The things we hum but never play still guide the steps we took away. So stay with me through one more line. I'll change the key, erase the sign. We won't rehearse, we won't revise, but feel the tempo in disguise. Not resolution, not release, just dissonance that finds its peace. We echo long after we're gone, like verses drifting into dawn. I never asked you where you went, you never said what silence meant, but in your breath between the bars I read your verses like old scars. We passed the place we used to meet. You stopped and kept your measured beat, like knowing it was there too long to still be part of this new song. We walk like chords that won't resolve, a symphony we can't absolve, and still our rhythm found its thread through echoes of the things we say. So stay with me until the break, not for the future, for the ache. We on the chorus, crowds will sing, but something pulsing underneath, not loud enough to fill a room, but still too strong to just resume. We echo long after we're gone, like verses drifting into dawn. You whispered once, I feel the beat, and tapped your fingers on the seat. I said I never really quit. You smiled and don't outgrow it yet. The crosswalk buzzed a fractured time. We waited past the traffic's rhyme, and when we moved it wasn't fast, but synced like ghosts that never pass. It's not the song that breaks us free, but how we bend within the key. We won't repeat, we won't erase, but rest inside the empty space. So stay with me through this refrain. We'll let the silence take the blame. The melody was never clean, but still it held what lies between. We didn't last, we didn't flee. We echoed out what had to be. We echo long after we're gone, like verses drifting into dawn.
You waited in the static glow, where neon homes refuse to go. The skyline flickered like a thought, half formed and sudden forgot. I crossed the street with no excuse, just chasing fragments I could use. Your eyes were loud, your voice was low. You said it's fine but didn't show. your fingers trace the air, like writing lyrics you won't share. And in your pause I felt the start of something deeper than a chart. You tilted back and closed your eyes. The traffic's off the tempo wise. I tapped my heel, you tapped the rail, and both of us began to scale. This isn't love, this isn't grief. It's something carved beyond belief. We write in breath, not ink or stone, and hum each line we claim alone. So let me be